Charleston had always been a city full of secrets, markets hidden behind other markets, deals done behind closed doors, and whispers that could buy a man or end him just as fast as gold ever could. But even in a port city shaped by greed and darkness, there had never been a night like the one when she arrived. She had no name, no past, no papers, only a velvet hood, a chain made from something that was not quite iron, and an auctioneer who refused to meet anyone's eyes when he spoke of her. Men who bought women by the dozens fought over her with the hunger of addicts. Merchants known for arguing over a single coin lost entire fortunes trying to claim her. Even the city's cruelest masters, men who felt nothing at all, froze the moment she stepped onto the hidden market platform. They stared, uneasy and spellbound, because something about her felt wrong or right or simply not human. Rumors spread instantly. Some said she was cursed. Others said she could heal with one touch. A few swore her face changed every time they looked at her. But the most feared rumor was the one no one dared to say aloud. She wasn't a slave at all. She was the one who came to choose them. The hidden market opened only after midnight, when Charleston's streets were quiet except for drunken carriage wheels and the scrape of crates at the docks. By day, the alleys sold fish and rope. By night, the wooden stalls folded away, revealing trap doors and narrow stairs that led underground, into a place where no law existed, not even the ones men pretended to follow. Lamps burned low, their flames shaking as if they too feared the buyers gathering below. Wine splashed, coins clinked, and the smell of sweat and rum mixed with perfume and something darker anticipation. Then the room shifted. The auctioneer entered without his usual confidence. His shoulders were stiff, his hands trembling. Behind him came two guards who looked half dead, hollow eyes, pale skin, jaws locked tight. Between them walked her. She wore a long velvet hood that hid her face completely. The fabric looked unlike anything made in Charleston or anywhere nearby. It shimmered faintly like moonlight trapped in cloth. People leaned forward. Some stood. One man dropped his pipe. The auctioneer swallowed hard. "Gentlemen," he croaked, "tonight's final offering is unique." One guard suddenly jerked back, gasping as if something beneath the hood had whispered into his ear. The crowd murmured. The price boards were cleared. No one needed them. "This one isn't listed," the auctioneer went on. "No records, no origin." "No origin?" a planter scoffed. "What does that mean?" "It means," the auctioneer said, voice shaking, "that she was found. Not delivered, found." The room went silent. Found where? Found how? Found by who? No answers came. The auctioneer gestured toward her without stepping closer. "We ain't sure of her age," he lied. The tremble in his voice gave him away. "Ain't sure of her language, or her temperament." The guard on her right flinched as if something unseen brushed his arm. A ripple of unease moved through the crowd. Someone whispered, "What's wrong with her?" Another replied, "What's right with her?" A wealthy shipping captain, famous for buying women cheap and selling them south for triple the price, stepped forward. "Hood off," he ordered. "Let's see what we're buying." The crowd roared, but the auctioneer shook his head so fast his face went red. "No," he said sharply. "Under no condition is the hood removed." That only made the room hungrier. "Why not?" someone shouted. The auctioneer wiped sweat from his brow. "She's different." "Different how?" He leaned forward and whispered, barely loud. "Enough to hear. She changes each time we look at her." The crowd stiffened. Shouts followed, accusations, laughter. The captain stepped closer and grabbed the velvet. "Fine," he sneered. "I'll remove it myself." "Don't!" the auctioneer screamed. The lamps flickered violently. One guard collapsed to the floor. A sound came from beneath the hood, too soft to be breath, too quiet to be words, yet enough to freeze every man present. The captain staggered back, screaming. A blistered handprint bloomed on his palm, dark and burned into his flesh. He clutched it, cursing. She did not move. Horrified and fascinated, the crowd stared. The auctioneer forced his shaking voice to speak. "Begin the bidding." Every man wanted her more. Power was priceless. Danger was intoxicating. Mystery was irresistible. None of them knew the truth. She wasn't there to be bought. She wasn't there to be owned. She was there to choose the first man who would disappear. The bidding rose fast. Numbers blurred together. The lamps dimmed again as if the air itself was thinning. Then she moved, just slightly. She turned her head toward the shipping captain. The air shifted. Not fear, not desire, recognition. "She's choosing me," the captain boasted. The auctioneer stared in horror. Her shadow twisted behind her, stretching into something with too many limbs. "Captain," he rasped. "Step away. I'll take her for 12,000, the man declared. She lifted her head a fraction more. The captain dropped where he stood, lifeless. No struggle, no sound. Dead. The mark on his hand was gone. In its place glowed a strange symbol. No two men saw it the same way, but all knew it wasn't of this world. "She chose him," the auctioneer whispered, "and now he's gone." Terror mixed with fascination. "You still selling her?" someone asked. The auctioneer's voice broke. "I don't think she's mine to sell." The body was removed. The room held its breath. Then another presence made itself known, a tall M. And in gray wool stood at the back, silver-tipped cane in hand, calm, measuring, unimpressed. "No," he said softly when told to leave. "I will stay. Silas Harrow." His name alone silenced the room. "I will bid," he said. "She killed a man," someone hissed. "She did nothing," Harrow replied. "The man died. 20,000, 50,000. The room went silent. The hooded woman turned toward him. Nothing flickered. No shadows moved. The air grew cold and sharp. She stepped forward. Lamps dimmed, then steadied, almost respectful. She stopped before Harrow. "Why me?" he whispered. She lifted her hood just enough for him to see the faint curve of a smile. Knowing. Waiting. For the first time, Silas Harrow felt fear. Later, in his carriage, she finally spoke. "My name is Noel. I know what you hide," she said softly. When she told him who followed them, his blood ran cold. "He calls himself your brother." Silas froze. He had no brother, or so he believed, as the carriage stopped and the forest closed in. Noel whispered, "He's close." A twig snapped. Footsteps circled. Her hood tilted, tracking something Silas could not see. "You are not telling me everything," he whispered. "I am telling you exactly what you need to know," Noel answered calmly. "He has been waiting for you." Silas swallowed, his throat dry and tight. "Waiting for me? Why?" "Because," she said softly, "he believes you ruined his life." Silas gave a bitter laugh. "I've ruined many lives. He'll have to be more clear." Noel did not look angry or afraid. Her stillness was disturbing, like a statue carved from darkness. "You were children when the fire came," she said quietly. Silas froze. That was impossible. No one knew about the fire. His left hand twitched, scarred fingers aching with memory. The flames, the screams, the shape in the doorway. "That was decades ago," he said, trying to steady his voice. "Nothing survived that night." "Something did," Noel whispered. "Someone, the four." Steve seemed to breathe out. Then Silas saw him. A figure stood between the trees, tall and wide, wet clothes clinging to his body, his face hidden in shadow. He did not move or speak. He only watched. "Call out," Noel said gently. Silas raised his pistol. "Show yourself." The man did not flinch. "I said, show." Lightning split the sky, washing the world in white. For a single heartbeat, Silas saw the face, the familiar jaw, the hollow eyes burning with something that made his blood turn cold. Then the darkness swallowed him again. Silas staggered back. That can't be real." Noel's voice was barely a breath. "You know his name." Silas felt the air leave his lungs. "Henry," he whispered. "Henry Harrow, his older brother, the boy who vanished in the fire and was declared dead." Silas never believed in ghosts. Not until now. The figure stepped forward slowly. "Stay back," Silas warned, lifting the pistol higher. Noel did not move. "He won't hurt you. Not yet." Silas shot her an angry "Lou." "Kay, then what does he want?" she answered softly. "To know why you left him to burn." "That's a lie," Silas snapped. "I went back. I searched for him." Henry stepped into the moonlight. Burned skin traced down the side of his face, a twisted ear marked by fire, survival, and hatred. "He thinks you started the fire," Noel said. Silas's stomach dropped. "That's madness. Why would he believe that?" "Because he remembers," she said, "and memory grows sharp over time." Henry moved closer. Silas fired. The shot thundered through the trees. Henry did not fall. He kept walking until he stood inches away. "No, no," Silas gasped. Henry lifted a hand and placed it against Silas's cheek. It was ice cold. "Why did you leave me?" Henry asked, his voice broken. Silas nearly collapsed. Noel stepped forward. "You should answer him. He has been waiting 30 years. The morning after the raid on the river cabin, Charleston buzzed with rumors again. In taverns, in wealthy parlors, in back rooms where coins were counted with bloody fingers. One name moved like a restless ghost. Amara, the woman who vanished, the woman who survived the hidden market, the woman they failed to break. For 2 days, Amara and Josiah moved through the marsh like shadows. They avoided roads, drank river water from their hands, and slept in reeds. Every sound made Josiah reach for his knife. Amara never slowed. "We ain't safe yet," Josiah whispered. "We will be," she replied simply. On the 3rd night, a storm tore across the marsh. They hid inside a fallen tree. "Why do they want you so badly?" Josiah asked. Amara traced the wet bark. "Because I remind them of what they can never own. Power? They thought I was just a slave," she said, "but I never bowed. I kept something they couldn't reach." "What?" "Myself." By morning, mist covered the land. They heard riders talking about dogs and tracking parties. "Boss says she ain't human," one man laughed. Josiah looked at Amara. "What did you do to him?" "I made him see himself," she said. They reached an abandoned rice mill by nightfall. Amara froze while checking tracks. "They're already here," she whispered. A horn sounded. They hid beneath the foundation. Lanterns passed close. Dogs snarled. Amara whispered something soft and steady. The dog backed away, confused. The hunters moved on. Later, by the river, they found a boat guarded by sleeping men. "We need it," Amara said. She whispered again. One man woke screaming and ran. The other followed. They drifted away under moonlight. "Why do they fear you?" Josiah asked. "Because they know I don't belong to them," she answered. By dawn, the river widened. Amara spoke of Franklin, where she was born, where they feared her even then. They docked at a ruined pier. "This is where they tried to sell me," she said. Hunters arrived, guns raised. "I didn't run," Amara said calmly. "I returned." She spoke in that strange rhythm. The men broke, some fled, some fell. "You were never the hunters," she said. "You were always the hunted." When it was over, Josiah stared at her. "You didn't touch them." "I didn't need to," she said. "They left by river again. What will you do now?" he asked. "I could vanish," she said, "or I could teach them that fear is earned." As the city rose ahead, Amara stood tall. "Let them come," she whispered. The river carried them forward, and the land itself seemed to remember one truth. Amara was free, and she would never be hunted again.